Okay, so to condition the plant material, we'll need a bucket of fresh water. Make sure the buckets are nice and clean. Wash them out once you've finished with them with a bleach solution and let them dry naturally. And that will mean that they'll be nice and clean for the next time we use it. It's ever so handy to have a big sink to put these in as well. Okay, so let's go back to the plant material. Right, so these are the tools we'll need. A pair of sharp scissors. Packaging off. Okay, treat the plant material quite carefully. It can bruise easily. Some bruise easier than others, in particular the rose. I can see a few little bruises on that one already. So take care with those stems. Every stem you break is eating into your profit margin. Okay, so release the stems. We're going to cut the stems at a 45-degree angle. If you notice the brown tips here, these cells have closed up, which means they won't take in any more water. So I can put these back into water now, and there's in effect a plug on the end, so they won't draw up any more water and they'll wilt quicker. However, if we reopen them, they will start taking water up again and stay fresher for longer. So I'm cutting those at a 45-degree angle, and that will ensure that we've got the most surface area to absorb water. I'll pop those straight into the water there. Pop them in quite quickly. The slower you do it, there's more chance of those cells closing up again. Okay, let's look at the roses. Right, some roses that you buy from the market or from supermarkets, they can have some quite big thorns on them. Some might not have any at all, so it's always worth checking them. These ones don't seem to have any thorns. So what we need to do is take all the foliage off that's going to fall below the water line. If leaves sit in the water, they will rot very quickly and put a lot of bacteria in the water, which will affect your vase life. It will make the flowers age a lot quicker. Okay, so keep them nice and fresh. If we had thorns in it, if we were doing a lot of these, we could use one of these. This is a stem stripper. And the idea is to run this down the stem of your plant material, and it removes the leaves very quickly. It can damage soft stems though, so it's always worth being very careful with those. Alternatively, you can use a knife. If you have thorns on your rose, very easy just to cut down with a knife, or you can remove the leaves nice and cleanly like that. These stems nice and clean. There's so few on here, it's very easy to do it by hand. Okay, so that's the stems clean. Once again, I'm going to cut those at 45-degree angle, and I'm actually cutting it either above or below this line here. This is the leaf node. This acts as sort of like an organ in your plant material. If you think of the stems as the blood vessels, the arteries travelling through it, and then the leaf nodes as the organs that need it, try not to cut right across it. Cut below or above one. Okay, they're all 45 degrees, and once again, I'll pop those straight into the water. And with the foliage, that needs to go into the water as well. Once again, okay, I'm just going to take one bunch here. Nice big stuff there. Remove all those lower leaves. Not too many with the foliage because we will be using a lot. Lovely smell of eucalyptus now, which unfortunately gets lost when you're looking at videos online. It does smell nice, believe me. Better than the gypsophilia anyway. Lovely. And then I'm going to snip these off. Sometimes with the eucalyptus or other types of foliage, the stems can be very woody, so it's always handy to have a pair of secateurs handy if the scissors don't go through them cleanly. Lovely, okay, so all into nice fresh water again. And the same thing with the gypsophilia. I'm just going to snip those bottom stems off. Okay, so this is all going to be left now for that to have a nice long drink, to just pull up as much water as possible before we start putting them into an arrangement. Make sure all those stems have actually gone into the water and they're not sitting too high, they're all in there, lovely. Okay, I will do the rest of that in a second, got the idea now. Let's just have a look at what else we'll be needing for this design. You will need a block of oasis. Okay, this is the standard oasis, and a small tray. So this actually perfectly fits a block of oasis. However, we will be cutting it down, and I'll explain when we're doing the arrangement why we cut it down, and of course your pop tape. Okay, so we'll get everything else conditioned, we'll leave it to the one side for a nice long drink, and then we'll come back and put the arrangement together.